Welcome to iOS Insights, the channel for iOS app development using Swift UI and Swift. In part 2 of this tutorial, we will be creating the user interface to enable the user to log in and to store their credentials safely to the keychain. So this is how the interface will look. It includes 2 text fields and a button and a switch and also a label. So clicking on the switch, that means the user wants to save their username and password to the keychain, and if they don't click on the switch, their username and password will not be saved to the keychain. Within your content view, enter the following variables: @state private var email equals comma @state private var password @state private var is login attempted equals false. @state private var is logged in equals false. @state private var show error equals false. @state private var should store credentials equals false. @state, no, this one's let color scheme equals color red (24) 255, then green 119 255, then blue 242 255. So the color scheme will be the color for the button. And then the next thing we need to do is on line 19, delete everything between line 19 and line 25. Next, type in navigation view. Linear gradient open bracket gradient open bracket colors, and then we pass our array of colors for the gradient: black, color, red 0.05, green 0.05, blue 0.05, and then we have to type in color dot red, and then we have to delete this bracket, that bracket there, and put a comma at the end, and type start point top end point bottom line 20. What that does, it will set the background color to a gradient of black and red. Dot ignore safe area dot overlay and then within the overlay just type VStack which is a vertical stack, and then add our image, our logo image, which is image logo and that should be capital I for image. Dot resizable dot scale to fit dot frame height 80 dot padding dot top 20 and then a spacer. Next thing we need to do is add our text for our welcome. Text, just type in welcome, it's the welcome message, dot font, dot title, dot font weight, dot bold, dot foreground color, dot white, dot padding, top 20. The next thing we need to do is create another VStack. VStack spacing 20. So spacing 20 means each row will have a space of 20 pixels. Text field, email, text, $email on edit changed. That's the completion handler. So within that we need to add a bracket there, and then within the completion handler we assign our email password that will be stored within the keychain. We just type in password equals keychain manager. Now that won't store the value in the password. It will get the keychain and then it will get the password from the keychain and store that password into the password field. Keychain manager dot get password from keychain email question mark comma. So what that line does, it fetches the password from the keychain when editing begins, and then we just close our closure on line 45 using closing bracket. And then next thing we need to do is that's incorrect. We need to close it on this line, on line 44 and not line 45. And the next thing we need to do is on line 45 is style the text field. So just type in text field style rounded border text field style. Auto capitalization is none. Dot background rounded rectangle open bracket corner radius is 10. So it just makes the rectangle have curvy corners. Dot foreground color is login attempted and not is valid credentials. But is valid credentials is a function that we need to create, so let's create it first. Just create it anywhere after line 57. It's a private function. Private function is valid credentials. That returns a bool. Return user manager shared dot is valid user, and then we pass our email and password. So what that does, it uses the shared instance of the user manager to check if the provided password and email address is valid. So if it's found within the keychain, that means it's valid. So now we go back to line 49. And then we just type in the name of the function that we created. So just type not is valid credentials, color white, opacity 0.3, else color is clear. So what that does, if the credentials are incorrect, it will display a message in white to say that it's incorrect. But if the credentials are correct, then it won't display a message and the color will be clear. But the next thing we need to do is add our password field, which is a secure field. Secure field password text $password, just to bind what we've entered to the text field. Dot text field style rounded border text dot background rounded rectangle corner radius is 10. Dot foreground color so what we can do here, we can just copy and paste what we've done previously, because a lot of it is similar. Just copy line 49 and then just paste it here. Is login attempted and not is valid credentials. Yeah, so that's all similar to the previous one. Next thing we need to do is create a toggle that allows the user to store their credentials in the keychain or not. So a toggle is like a switch. So just type in hstack text store credentials dot foreground color dot white dot frame max width dot infinity alignment dot leading. So what this will do, it will align the switch to the left. Toggle is on. $sign should store credentials. Dot toggle style switch toggle style color scheme. And then on line 66 or 67, just add a padding dot horizontal 20. The next thing we need to do is create our login button. So just type in button dot action is logged in attempted is true, is logged in is equal to is valid credentials. So what line 71 does, depending on what's returned within is valid credentials, if it's true at the boolean value, that means logged in is true, or if false was returned from the is valid credentials function, that means is logged in is false. If is logged in and should store credentials, keychain manager dot store credentials in keychain. So we just pass our email, which is our username, and we just pass our password. And then the next thing we need to do is add a label for the actual login button. So to do that, on line 76, just type this open bracket. Let's type text, login, give it some style, foreground color, white, dot frame, width 200, height is height is 50. Background color, color scheme, corner radius, is 10. For the padding, is top and 20. And now the next thing we will do is display a message if the login was successful or not. Let's type in is logged in, text, logged in successfully, dot foreground color, white, dot font, headline, dot padding, top, and 10. Next thing we need to do is create an else statement. So the else statement purpose is for if the login was incorrect, it will display a message such as invalid email or password. So just type in else if text invalid email or password. So what we can do is just copy what we've done previously for the successful login. Just copy the styles. And then so this needs to be corrected a little bit. It was originally like this. So there's an error somewhere. So if I delete this, and delete this as well. And then delete one of these brackets that shouldn't be there. And then now we can continue with the conditional statement. Else if is logged in attempted and not is valid credentials, so what this will do, displays an error message if logged in attempted with invalid credentials. It will display a message which is similar to the successful one, but the message will say invalid email or password. So just type in invalid email or password. And then the next thing we need to do is add a spacer to push the content up to the top a little bit. And then we just apply some padding to the whole content. And then the next thing we need to do is just add yeah, that's it. Let's run it and see if it works or not. Seems like it's working. So the username details, where's the user name detail? Yeah, so the credentials that we're using against the array to do an actual login is test@test.com, which is the email address, and the password is test. And we can also use user2@example.com, and the password is ABC. So I'm just gonna copy this email address, which is the username, and paste it in here. Does it allow me to paste? Paste it there. And then for the password, just type test, store it in the keychain. When I click on login, you should see like a successful message. Logged in successfully. So now what I will do to show that it's been stored in the keychain, I will delete the password or rerun it, just a better test. Rerun the application, and I won't type the password in, I just will type in the username, which is test@test.com. So test@test.com. And then when I click on the enter key, or if I just navigate to the password field, you'll see that the password will be retrieved automatically from the keychain based on this user name, which is test@test.com. As you can see, the password was retrieved from the keychain. I didn't type it in. And then click in login, and then you see the same message, logged in successfully. But if I type in an incorrect password, for example, that password is in the array, click on login, as you can see, invalid email or password. So that password was not found in the keychain. So next week we will complete this tutorial by adding some onboarding pages, because the purpose of this keychain example is to show how the keychain can protect another page from being displayed. So that's what we will do next week. Thank you for joining us. If you found this tutorial helpful, please comment, like and subscribe. See you next week.